Today we are running through new travel rules because airlines and airports just prohibited several items that are probably on your packing list. I'm going to show you why they're suddenly considered dangerous and, most importantly, how you can still travel with some of these items legally, so you don't end up holding up the security line. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you should avoid packing in your carry-on or check suitcase the next time you fly. Let's start with the one that's making news headlines and catching a lot of travelers off guard. The TSA just banned cordless hairstyling tools from checked luggage. This includes any wireless curling irons, flat irons, and hair straighteners that run on gas cartridges or lithium batteries, exactly the kind that are super convenient for travel since you don't need to find an outlet. The reason for this ban is because these devices have been causing actual fires on planes. The lithium batteries can overheat through something called thermal runaway, and those butane cartridges are basically tiny pressurized containers that can explode at altitude. You can still bring them, but only in your carry-on and only if they have a safety cover over the heating element, and absolutely no spare gas cartridges allowed in checked or carry-on luggage. Those are completely banned. The good news is that regular plug-in styling tools are still fine everywhere, so just remember to stick to hair tools that have a cord if you want to avoid the hassle. And hair tools with batteries are not the only battery-related bans that are catching travelers off guard. Southwest Airlines just became the first U.S. carrier to ban something that literally everyone travels with, and other airlines are watching closely to see if they should follow suit. They've banned power banks and portable chargers from being stored in overhead bins. You can still bring them on the plane, but they have to stay at your seat where the flight crew can see them. This happened because of a terrifying incident on an Airline flight where a power bank caught fire in an overhead bin and injured 27 passengers. The crew couldn't get to it quickly enough because it was hidden away. Here's what's really important to understand. Southwest was the first U.S. airline to implement this, but other international carriers like Emirates, Singapore Airlines, and Thai Airways already have similar restrictions in place, and more are likely coming. Pay close attention to airline news, as I imagine this is going to become standard across the industry over the next year. Speaking of battery fires, there's a much bigger crisis happening that most travelers have no idea about, and it's driving new restrictions. The FAA recorded 89 lithium battery incidents on flights in 2024 alone. That's the highest number ever recorded, and it represents a 388% increase since 2015. And by incident, we are referring to devices that are smoking, overheating, and catching fire mid-flight. Not good. Now the TSA is cracking down hard on any device with lithium batteries that doesn't have clear labeling. If your device doesn't clearly show the battery type or watt-hour capacity, there's a real chance it's getting confiscated. The problem is once again with something called thermal runaway. Basically, when a lithium battery gets damaged or overheats, it creates a chain reaction where it keeps getting hotter and hotter until it catches fire. And when you're trapped in a pressurized cabin at 35,000 feet, that's not exactly a situation you want to be in. Take a moment to check that all the devices you plan to pack have clear battery information printed on them. Lithium batteries can be found in your phone, laptop, tablet, wireless headphones, portable speakers, electric toothbrush, and even some newer luggage with built-in charging ports. If any of these don't clearly show the battery type or watt-hour capacity somewhere on the device, seriously consider leaving them at home, but also keep in mind that the TSA recently went to their Instagram, which I add is both informative and hilarious to remind us that electric toothbrushes are generally allowed in carry-in luggage. I personally travel with mine all the time and have never had any trouble. This next ban is going to frustrate a lot of health-conscious travelers or pretty much anyone else that tends to travel with a ton of random powdered substances. Any powdered substance over 12 ounces in your carry-on is subject to additional screening and possible confiscation. This includes everything from greens powders, to protein powder, to pancake mix, and even large containers of powdered coffee creamer. The TSA's reasoning is that these powders can be used to disguise explosive materials, So anything bigger than about the size of a soda is going to get extra attention. In some cases, agents are doing additional chemical testing, which means longer delays and a higher chance of your powder getting confiscated if they can't definitively identify what it is. Your best bet is to transfer your powders into smaller containers under 12 ounces each, or just pack them in your checked luggage where size restrictions don't apply. This next one is one that nobody saw coming, and it's causing a ton of delays at security checkpoints. You can usually bring food and snacks through airport security with no problem. Solid foods like sandwiches, crackers, and fruit are typically fine. Liquid foods are subject to the 311 rule, but most solid foods and snacks are not a problem. But recently, certain homemade snacks and food items, especially those wrapped in foil or packed in non-transparent containers, are facing increased scrutiny and potential confiscation. The issue is that homemade items can look suspicious on X-ray machines. That foil W-wrapped sandwich or homemade energy bar might trigger additional screening or even get confiscated if the TSA agent can't clearly identify what it is. Your best bet is to pack any homemade food in clear, transparent containers. Avoid foil wrapping entirely, and if you're bringing something that might look unusual, be prepared to explain what it is and maybe even open the container for inspection. And here's one that is a total wild card. There's actually an entire phone that's completely banned from all flights. This isn't a new ban, but it's worth a reminder. The Samsung Galaxy Note 7 is entirely prohibited from all commercial flights, meaning it's not allowed in your carry-on or checked baggage. It cannot travel on planes at all, even powered off. That's because the Note 7 had nearly 100 documented incidents of batteries overheating, catching fire, or even exploding. We're talking about injuries, property damage, and even a Southwest flight evacuation. Yikes. Because of all these wild incidents, the Note 7 is now classified as a forbidden hazardous material under federal law. If you try to board with a Note 7, you could be denied boarding, have the phone confiscated, and face fines or even criminal prosecution. This ban exists worldwide, and it's a rare permanent prohibition due to the device's proven and serious danger in the air. You may have noticed that a common thread connecting all of these new bans and restrictions is the risk of a fire mid-flight, whether it's hair tools, power banks, or suspicious foil-wrapped packages. The aviation industry is terrified of in-flight fires because your options are extremely limited when something catches fire at 35,000 feet. Always check the TSA's "What can I bring?" page and stay on top of news headlines pertaining to the airline you're flying with that could impact your next trip. Don't forget to hit subscribe to join us back for new videos each week, and you may also want to sign up for my free newsletter with tips and tricks that I don't share anywhere else. Thanks for watching. Happy travels, and I will see you in that next video soon. Bye.